to do the grand tour, and it still is amazing as it was then. And of course, lots of exciting things are going on here at Iron Shore Studios. We're talking today with Nathan McLean and Dean Ramoon. They're going to bring us up to speed on what's been happening over the last couple months. So Nathan, let's start with you. I think we were here around January for the grand opening event.
Yep.
And since then, I understand that you've been super busy. So tell me, what have you been doing in the studio, you and your partners? What's been going on?
The launch event in the end of January. And since then, we've been really focused on making sure that we can provide the opportunities for everyone as much as possible, local artists, students to come and experience the facility, and we've also hosted some international artists who've come down and utilize the space. So it's been exciting, and it's about networking and getting the awareness out there.
Absolutely. So in the event that someone may have missed our, sort of tour of the facility initially, give us a little bit of rundown on what you've got here, because, the equipment is amazing, state-of-the-art equipment. I think it's over 2,600 square feet, if I'm, not mistaken.
Yeah.
But it's a lot that's here. So just give us a little bit of a rundown on what people can expect at the studio.
Yeah, sure. So what you can expect is the highest quality of service and equipment and capabilities. The facility is 4,600 square feet with 2,000 plus square feet of just dedicated recording space. We have, a lounge area, we have a balcony access, a little meeting room, kitchen. It's quite extensive, and we're very proud to say that we have what is a world-class facility right here in Grand Cayman, and one of the most capable studios that you can find in this side of the hemisphere, for sure.
For sure. Absolutely. That's fantastic. So Dean, we're going to bring you in just a little bit here as well. So the two of you are going to be partnering with a music and networking event. Yeah. So give us some of the details on how this idea was born, and then we'll get into some of the details of exactly what it is.
Absolutely, yeah. It was started in 2019.
Okay.
Just shy of the pandemic. And the idea around music and network was exactly what the title is. It's music. We're bringing down a lot of music executives to the island that are top of their game right now. And we want you, the artist, the local artist, but not just only the individual that can sing, not just as a producer, but the people that have an interest for deeper into the music industry. So we wanted to be able to not waste your project, like whatever you're working on right now, whatever you're doing in the studio. A lot of artists are saying, is it just radio for me, and how do I get it heard around the world? So this is how this was birthed. And I spoke to Nate years ago about it, just before Iron Shore Studios was done. And we spoke recently, I think a few months ago, and he was happy to come on board from Iron Shore to be the presenting sponsor, to make it bigger. So it actually morphed into a bigger thing this year, and we're excited about that. We're going to be doing workshops on Thursdays with some of the high schools, where they're going to be taught by a Grammy-nominated songwriter.
Wow.
A state-of-the-art studio engineer is going to also be teaching them. He's worked with the likes of Beyonce, Jaden Smith, just to name a few, different rappers in the industry also. And then we have just a full list of different VPs from different record labels that are coming down. It's a lot to name. I'll name a few because I know Sandra's been talking about it also. But Rock Nation, SoundCloud, Atlantic Records. And they're just going to be teaching individuals, how do you get your songs in the movies? How do you get signed to a record label? What other jobs are available besides being a singer? Because if I try to sing, it wouldn't work out for me. But I still have a passion for music. Where do I fit in? So those are a lot of the questions that will be answered.
That's that is really dope. Because like any industry, and I'm sure the music industry is definitely no different, there is like a slew and plethora of jobs and positions and areas of interest that you can really get into. So you're saying that really the core of the workshop of this particular music and networking is really going to be to expose people to the industry and all of those components of it.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest thing, and I know Nate will agree with me with this, is the biggest thing that we want to do is to create opportunities to make Cayman a music hub. We've been saying that for a long time, but when do we get started?
Yes.
And I think now is the time.
Yep.
And Barbados is doing that, Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica next door to us, right? They're doing the same thing. We can do it also. There's no reason that we shouldn't have the likes of Rihanna, the next big Jay-Z that's coming here to actually record his album, but include local talent.
Exactly.
Because for a lot of people, they don't know that a lot of these hit songs that you're hearing on the radio was written by somebody behind the scene. So how do we get locals involved with that?
Yes.
That's what ourselves and Iron Shore is working on. And I'm glad that they partnered with us, along with some of the ministries also. You know, Minister Andre has jumped on board, and Kenneth Bryan, the Honorable Minister for Tourism and Ports, he's also showed an interest in this and supported the event. But I really have to give props to Iron Shore, because it only took 5 minutes to convince Nate that he should be a part of this event. So we're really grateful for Iron Shore.
All right. So Nate, let's come back to you for a second then. I mean, when Dane approached you with this, what sold you in those 5 minutes? Why were you like, yes, we got to do this collaboration?
I think it was less than 5 minutes. It probably was more like 15 seconds. But I mean, I've heard about the first event back in 2019, because I have a lot of friends who were in the music, and they attended it, and they spoke highly of the experience and what it kind of taught them. And honestly, the big part of what we're doing here at Iron Shore Group is exactly touching on what Dane said, is to create opportunities for Caymanians and local artists and local talent to explore music as a career, and to realize that you don't have to fit into the little box that of accounting, finance, and lawyers and doctors that people tend to put people into, right? And like you said, there's huge opportunities in the music industry. There's not just a singer-songwriter. There's engineering. There's it's crazy. There's songwriting, of course. There's distribution. There's the business side of things that you can get into. And for us, it was very important to be able to provide opportunities for young aspiring musicians to get that exposure, and to actually learn from people who are experienced and have the credibility, and make them realize like, hey, we can do this, and we can do it right here in Cayman.
Absolutely. Now, Dane, you've been involved in the music scene for quite a minute now. I think I've lost count of the years, but your passion continues to just really remain steadfast. I think that is so incredibly important. But tell us a little bit about how you made the connections with these industry like movers and shakers. Like, wow, how did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, it was difficult at first, because you were going on trips, and I was I always say it to my friends now, I was the weird guy going on vacations and finding the record labels and trying to get in, and not realizing that it took more than just sitting by the lobby and waiting for somebody to come and see you, because most likely it's not going to happen. What I started to do, Sandra, was just like, anytime there was a concert here on the island, I wouldn't aim to meet the artist. I would want to meet the person behind the scene, the person, the manager, the tour manager, the personal assistant. And you'll be shocked, even the DJ, because the DJ can get you to the manager, it can get you to the vice president of the company. And especially if they speak highly of you. So I created really good, solid relationships with them. And there was a time that I would even fly back that manager to the island. I would offer them an airline ticket, and I would fly them back, and they would enjoy our island. This is what we have it here. This is a treasure. People love the Cayman Islands. So you invite them here, they actually get to know you, and they want to partner with things like this. When you tell them what your vision is, and they see the passion, they're like, I want to help you to do this. And that's what happened. But it took years to build it. And I've been doing that ever since, till the list just continued to grow. So when you make those calls now, it's no longer waiting in the lobby of the record label. It's now you have actually created long-lasting partnership and friendships with these people, and they're willing to share their vision with you and jump on board. So that's how I did it. And I always say to people, if you have a passion for something, it will be seen. It will easily be seen by other people. You don't have to do a lot of convincing. So I think that's what it was for me. It was just going and having genuine but difficult conversations, because we are afraid to have difficult conversations with people. Like, there's not a lot of people who's going to walk up to the manager of Rihanna and say, hey, this is my passion. Let me tell you my vision.
Yes, definitely.
And that's what I did. I got used to having uncomfortable conversations.
Yeah, no, that's important. And I love what you say about the element of passion, because, I agree with you 100%. That sometimes you yourself don't see how passionate you are. You just know that you love doing whatever, and other people see it. And once other people see you, accomplishing positive things or wanting to accomplish positive things, a lot of times they're going to jump on board just because they want to help you, make that dream a reality. Absolutely. So this is fantastic. So let's get into some of the details of the actual music and networking events. It's running over how many days, Dean?
So 2 days.
Okay.
Everybody arrives next week, Wednesday.
Yes.
We're excited about April 26th. We'll have a very important workshop here in Iron Shore Studios, which will include 10 students from each school here on the island. So everybody will be able to benefit from this. Very limited space, but our hope is to continue to keep doing this. So every student will stand to get a chance to experience this opportunity. That will be on Thursday. Kicks off from 9 till 2 o'clock. So it's an all-day session.
And so if I could just
Yeah,
add,
please, yeah.
it's going to be a combination of a songwriting workshop and an engineering workshop.
Yeah.
So trying to give hands-on experience to kids
Right.
from those two facets of a song creation process.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's very important. So they're going to learn how to start a song, the writing techniques, and then go in the studio and figure out how to then engineer it after that. And then Friday's the big ticket item. We managed to make this free to the public. It's going to be at the Marriott Beach Resort at 6:30 p.m. on Friday, just before the Capella Music Festival. So we're inviting anyone. You have to RSVP because the seats are still limited, even though it's free. So we urge you to RSVP, which we'll put a link with Sandra on how you can do that, the email or the number to call. But that's just going to be the big panel discussion. We have Dallas Martin, who's going to be, he's the vice president of Atlantic Records. He's coming down to give a speech, and he's responsible for artists such as Cardi B, Lizzo, Meek Mills. He's working on right now. He did Nipsey Hussle's album. He was responsible for that before he passed away, unfortunately. So he's going to be doing a speech on how to get into the industry. He has a similar story, and he has a Caribbean background, which is going to be very important to us. We have other A&Rs and vice presidents of record label. One that we're very excited about is Edith Bowe. Edith Bowe used to work for Rock Nation, which is owned by Jay-Z. She was 24 years old at the time, working at a high standard job, managing a lot of his artists. Up to this day, she still consults for Jay-Z. So hopefully the plan is one day to get him down here to one of the panel discussions.
Yeah, absolutely.
We shall see. Dream big, right?
Yeah,
so
for
that's
sure.
It's going to be Friday, and that goes all the way to 9 o'clock.
Okay, nice. Wow. So some real heavy hitters going to be participating in your panel discussion for the Friday evening. So that's awesome. I'd like to see that there's a woman in there because, the music industry, a lot of times people just see women as maybe being performers, rappers, singers, or whatever. But women can get in the engineering booth and they can write songs and they can do all that stuff as well. So that's fantastic. So congratulations to both of you. This is an amazing collaboration. Dane, everyone who's interested, you'll give me all the details. We'll put it on the screen here for you guys. I love also that there's a youthful element of getting young people involved in exploring career opportunities, something that they might think that they're interested in, but sometimes you got to get the hands-on experience before you can kind of decide.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're also here with Minister Andre Ebanks. He's come through Iron Shore Studios. Minister, good afternoon. Is this your first time seeing the studio, by the way?
No,
You've seen it before. Tell us why you're here today and what you think of this amazing collaboration.
It is an amazing thing to have this type of Hollywood-style equipment in Cayman. Two, the initiatives that these gentlemen are doing to support music industry has a connection in my mind to social development because it's another avenue for our youth to get involved in a professional way in this industry. So this isn't a game that these folks are putting on just for entertainment. This is a business. So this will help our youth have another way in which they can earn income and have a professional business within music. It's awesome, and it's a pleasure for the Ministry of Social Development to take part and support. God bless the initiative.
Yes, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You hear me falling, now who is to blame? Wishing you'd only be more like them. Over and over, you cry yourself to sleep. And you are colder, much colder. If only you could see. Don't you know that you